What's up guys, Smith here, back at it again. We're making a daily NASDAQ update video again, because a lot of interesting things have happened again. I think I'm almost saying that daily right now, but the NASDAQ is really interesting. So let's quickly look at what happened yesterday. I pointed out this low many times by now, because people were getting really bearish here. Of course you have to be bearish, but on the higher time frame speaking, it was still bullish. If we're gonna leave open this low, make the higher low and a new higher high. Well, as you can see, yesterday during the New York session, we got a pretty big death candle towards the lows, and we closed below this low. So right now on the high time frame, we're also more bearish, and not only locally. There is a pretty good reason why the market did this, and it did not make this higher low and a higher high. One, and that is also a thing I said many times, if you really zoom out on the daily, this is your higher low to hold, so the market can correct all the way towards this low and then make the higher low and the higher high. And what also is an important thing, today we have FOMC meeting minutes. Of course, that is not the only thing that triggered this dump. The most important thing is tomorrow and on Friday we have the Jackson Hole Symposium in Wyoming, where a lot of Feds are gonna get together and talk about some really interesting financial stuff, and our big friend Powell is probably gonna talk about interest rates, etc. So people got way too bearish over here already, even though there was not really any interesting things to be bearish about. But when those things are gonna get close and we still haven't had a good reaction up, people are gonna really panic, and they're just gonna panic sell the positions. The Magnificent 7 on the NASDAQ also plummeted a couple of percentages, so that caused for this dump as well. It's just a lot of panic selling because the market is driven on emotions. So we were already bearish locally over here, and right now we're on a high time frame bearish as well, except from the daily, of course. If you look closely, you see on the low that I wanted to be seen respected as a higher low. On the NASDAQ, you see there's an SMT. This means there's a divergence with the S&P 500. If we're gonna look at S&P 500, well, would you look at that? You can see that the higher low that we closed below on the NASDAQ is left open still on the S&P 500. What can this mean? This can mean a couple of things. From here, because on the daily you're still up, we can put in the higher low on the S&P 500, and if we got enough liquidity from the lows on the NASDAQ, we can make that higher low on the S&P 500 and also gonna start pumping up on the NASDAQ again. What can also happen is, because we have this SMT, the S&P 500 wants to correct this divergence and wants to take out this low as well, then we're probably gonna get a pretty rangy day on the NASDAQ, if that is gonna happen today. So that is a thing I wanted to point out as well, because it's important to keep in mind. I also have this daily / 2-day fair value gap in my chart. This was still an imbalance that was left open after the big bump up. As you can see, we closed in this yesterday. So this can mean that if we're gonna close in this again today, and the S&P 500 is gonna leave open at low, maybe we can expect new highs from that fair value gap. But yeah, we can't really predict things like this. It's just a thing I have in my chart, because maybe if we're gonna close in it, we can get more bullish price action. I also have this breaker block in my chart over here. It's probably a 12-hour breaker block, but you can also see it on the 4-hour. As you can see, we used it as resistance and pumped right through it. We used it as a support once, and right now we're holding some support in it as well, also in correlation with this 4-hour PD array we used once. So these are also bullish PD arrays I have in my chart. We also have these equals. What do equals mean? They're most of the times a magnet for the market, but it also means it needs more liquidity from the opposite side before it can take out these lows. On the 1 hour there's not really any interesting to see, so let's quickly zoom in. Keep the equals in mind, we need more liquidity from the highs. What did we do? We made this lower high and a lower low. We broke above the last lower high. Change of character, meaning we can expect a higher low and a higher high. So right now locally on the lower time frame I'm up. Where do I want to see a short? Maybe on the Asia high, then we can take out equals. Maybe we have to go up all the way to here before we can reverse down, or we're never gonna reverse back down again and we're just gonna start pumping up today. Can also happen, but locally right now I'm more bullish than bearish, especially if we're gonna put in another higher low and a higher high. This was my PY zone for the market to turn around and make new highs again. As you can see, that happened pretty much. We are not making new highs yet. We can still leave open this high. And then we have taken out all the liquidity over here. Maybe we want to reverse, but we have pumped up a lot above these highs already, so we'll have to see. But we can still look for shorts if we're gonna leave open this high again, get some internal break of structure, and then target the lows again. But otherwise, on the lower time frame, locally speaking, it's up until proven otherwise because of this change of character. We close below this, yes, this can get off my chart. We also tapped into this imbalance over here. We also filled up nice 1 hour imbalance in combination with a nice liquidity sweep right here. So yeah, pretty bullish if you ask me. So yeah, what is the plan for today? For now, it's just looking for longs. And on the higher time frame, of course, it's looking for shorts, but then we need local confirmations on liquidity highs like this Asia high, or what is more important, highs at highs like these. We just have to watch out for really strong liquidity highs to maybe get a reversal back down again. And for longs, it's gonna be doing a thing like this, come up and leave open your higher low and make a new higher high. So look for the longs on the lows and for the shorts on the highs if you get your local confirmations, of course. In the higher time frame plan, there isn't really a plan. The only plan that there is I want to see the daily low being left open, because if we're gonna close below this daily low, then we're gonna get really bearish, but that is really far away. What are points to look at for reversals? This can be the point of a reversal, that today we're gonna take this out, close in the daily and then make new highs again. Of course, we can close below here, use it as resistance, take out this liquidity and reverse from here, because this is of course a really strong liquidity point. So that is the higher time frame plan pretty much. In the video of yesterday I said I was gonna make a trade recap about 2 trades I took on Monday. Well, I was too busy, so I couldn't make a second video yesterday, so I'm gonna try to make it today. I'm really busy today as well, so I'm gonna see if I could get some time free. But otherwise it's gonna come eventually, because they are trades I want to talk about, because there's a lot to learn from. And I want to give you guys as much value as possible, so we can build a community together, which is my whole goal of this YouTube channel. So if you're interested in like-minded traders and talking about the markets in real time with me and my trading partner Trading Cage, we have a Discord community set up. It's all free, of course. You can just come in there, talk with us, talk with other people in the community, share your thoughts on the market, and we can learn from each other. So I'd love to see you there. If you like this video, leave behind a like and leave behind a comment. And make sure to subscribe to be updated on the future videos. So I would love to see you in the next video, and then this will be it for today. Ciao.